I fell through the world. Don't know how, but I fell through the world. Hello everyone, 626 Games here, playing Satisfactory today. I want to show you really quick before we get started that I did use my coupons at the Awesome Shop, and I've purchased a bunch of stuff for my base. I went ahead and got the sign bundle, and when I was placing the Hypertubes, I realized I needed the Hypertube attachments as well. So we got the floor hole, and we got the wall attachment. Finally, I also got the windowed walls purchase. So I am pretty much out of tickets, but I got all of the stuff I want. I also was looking at the equipment bench, and I realized I forgot to make the Blade Runners. So I made the Blade Runners. Look how high I can jump. Whee! I also went ahead and I set up my Hyperloop tube, whatever. We have Tier 1, Tier 2. Let's pop on down to Tier 1. We've got a tube going over to the biofuel reactors in case for some reason we have a power shutdown and we need to get some emergency power going. I've got a real quick and easy way to get back over to my reactors, which I've moved from up top to down here. We have 20 biofuel reactors chugging away down here. They're still completely full of fuel because they haven't been used yet. But as you can see, my capacity is through the roof. My consumption's only 700, so I've got power for quite a while, I think. Oh, I forgot to make a sign for this one. I'll have to do that later. So, I'm going to head back down to the bottom hub. And cutting through the floor a little bit on that one, so that's a little annoying. I'll probably have to do something to fix that. But as you see, I put the windowed mirrors so I can get a good look at my factory while using the tubes. Then we have the Tier 2 tube. This just brings us down to the second tier so we don't have to leap from the top anymore. And then as you can also see, we have a tube going around the entire top floor. So if we come down here, we're going to have two factory tour tubes. We have the one on the left is going to be, we're going to tour down below. I haven't finished that one yet. As you can see, it's red. And factory tour 2 is up high. Now this one just goes completely around the base, just so I can get a good look at everything that I have done. And it gives us a chance to discuss what we're going to be doing today in this episode. I have built a very long ramp going up to the quartz line because I want to go ahead and get a truck automating the quartz delivery to my base today. And I also want to set up some production. So I extended the base pretty far out like this so that we can finish building all of the stuff that we have not started processing yet. We have a couple different materials that I can think of. The names are defeating me, but I know there are definitely a few materials that I'm going to need to get started on before we can advance much further. But there's my Hyperloop around the base, just kind of showing everything out. Now let's pop an assembler down because the words are eluding me. That's right, motor. Motor was the important one. We really need motors because I want to build my buggy. So the rotors are going to need the stators, and I forgot it in like 2 seconds. The stator and is that the rotor? Yeah, that's the rotor. Rotors are being used somewhere up here, I believe. No, I don't think so. I think only those frames are being used. So rotors then would be in one of these, and stators are over here. So I'm going to build the motors somewhere down the line here. Well, I hit record, and for some reason it didn't record. Don't know why, but I've got my motors being built in these 3 assemblers over here, and I went ahead and researched oil production. As you can see, oil processing, I mean. we needed 50 motors, 100 industrial beams, 500 pipes, 500 copper sheets, and then unlocked all of these new oil products. And our oil deposit, we discovered, is about 2,400 meters this way. Somewhere around here. So I'm going to start exploring that way. I'm going to build my road going out towards the to where the oil is, and we're going to have to figure out a way to get that oil all the way back to our base. But for now, I've got to get to the oil itself. I ran into a problem building my road this way. The game will not let you build over this pit. So we're going to go around and through this weird flower petal forest instead. So I'm out here building my highway going east, and I came across this wreckage on top of this giant mushroom here. And it's got a drop pod that's going to require 20 megawatts. And I'm pretty far away from my base, as you can see. Oh, there's some goodies down here too. I saw some motors down there. Oh, what's this? Ooh, pretty little flies. And they explode. Explodey flies! Pretty sure those would try to kill me if I had hostilities on. But yeah, I saw some goodies down here I wanted to grab. But I got to get back up here to show you how to get one of those this far away from your base. It's really simple. Instead of building power lines all the way over here, just pop one of these out. And these this makes 30 by itself, and if you have a couple power shards, you can boost one of them pretty far. As you see, I got lots of extra fuel, and we just took a power line up to it, and it opens. We got ourselves a hard drive, which is good because we need some for research back at the home base. And then you can just get rid of it when you're done. And I'm going to keep heading there. I'm probably about a third of the way there, I'd say. It's going to be somewhere down here. I've got my road built, and I have power lines running all the way down to where the oil is. And I just had to run back to my base and grab some supplies so I could continue. But there was a problem that I had noticed that I had run into. I have no way of transporting the fuel back to my base, or the oil, not the fuel. We could build multiple pipelines, sure, but every 20 meters going up, we're going to need to build another pump. So that means to get out of this hole alone, I would need to build half a dozen pump stations at least. So I thought instead of doing that, I would just build a smaller base over here where the oil is until I have unlocked a better method for transporting the oil. So you can't use the tractor, because if we put a truck station up, we notice there is actually no input pipe for fuel. So if we were to try to hook this up, it doesn't hook up anywhere on a tractor station. So that's not going to work. Instead, I'm going to build some refineries over here. There's the fuel. And I need plastic and rubber. So I'm going to make both of those here until I get enough to unlock the next mode of transportation. So we got ourselves a temporary setup. We got 2 rubber producers, 2 plastic producers, and both of those produce a residual fuel or oil, or what is it called exactly? Heavy oil residue. So I've got the heavy oil residue flowing into these buffers. All the buffers are going into this factory, and we're going to be making fuel out of the excess material. And then we have rubber and plastic being put into these totes here. And that should be enough for our next thing of research. So I'll meet you back at the base. And we're back at the base again. I went ahead and handcrafted 25 or 28, I guess, of these heavy modular frames, which I'm going to need for the alternative fluid transport. It's going to give us the ability to pack up that oil and bring it back to our base, if we so wish. Probably will end up doing that because I'm going to want to set up a rather large production of all of this oil-based stuff. Not sure. I might just keep it as 2 separate bases for now. Haven't quite decided, but let's go ahead and fill everything that we need in here and push the button.
Milestone reached. Fluids can now be packaged to allow for transportation via vehicle and conveyor belts. Additionally, highly improved biofuel can now be produced.
But that goes ahead and gives us the option of now moving any of the fluids around that I want to. Like I said, we can go ahead and package the oil up. We can bring it to the base here and set up rather a large production, or we can continue producing the stuff that we need over there. But I have a feeling that I'm going to be needing the rubber and all that stuff in the base here, so I think I will end up setting up, what is that, a packager? So we need a little bit of rubber, a little bit of plastic. I have a bunch of those, not only over on the other side, but I did bring some over here with me as well. So I think I'll do that in between episodes. I'm going to set up the packager, truck stop, and next episode we'll start bringing the oil to the base. And I think we're going to be utilizing a lot of this building space down here for the oil and production. Appreciate y'all for watching. I hope to see you next time. Well, shut my mouth. It's not a crater after all. Well, it is a crater, but it's not endless after all. Maybe we can go down there. You can see all the way in the background there. But then when I get closer and it loads in,